know they sick, acting like they know me, cause I'm
P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.
It's time for the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are in a city that sure had its share of memorable play.
Big numbers, 100 in a bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad being pesto, if you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special, I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, that make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100 in a bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't.
It's time for the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are in a city that sure had its share of memorable playoff games in the past, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Today, we continue on at Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game.
Let's go. Let's do this. Set. 90. Wolf. 54. Look at me. Score.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette.
Jam.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Get ready.
A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ready.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Fournette running out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
It's going to be a long day. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Go. And let's get that
now back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
Let's go.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run for the first time with James Conner, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
44's Mike. Check. Go.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
77. It's our field.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Eluding the pressure right, and this one into the hands of DJ Shark. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
At the 20-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All day, defense.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Dorsett's got it. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Baby, get him, boys. Get him, boys.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 44-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Ben going to give this one to Conner. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
Maybe a free play now for Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10.
Let's get it together, team.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Telvin Smith able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there.
66.
On second down, here's Henry. Give him 8, maybe 9, but they're still left with a 3rd and long upcoming. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Hey, watch the slant. 44, Mike, 44.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. Able to find Switzer. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. And able to find Dorsett. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. We're scoreless after 1.
Watch the run, watch the run. Watch the run. 44 is the Mike, 44 is Mike. Check. I got you, boy.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
44 is the Mike. 44 is the Mike.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll get 5 on the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
3rd and 6.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Hey, alert.
Fofo's the Mike. Mike's Fofo.
I'm
coming after you.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Ready,
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Watch switch.
80 weapon.
Kill.
Hey, echo.
Kill. Turn up.
2nd and 10.
Check right.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Robert Quinn. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down.
Watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Go, go, go. Mike's 5'4".
You're out.
Mike's 5'4".
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Deep river. Deep river.
They'll set up to throw.
Sponge.
Buying time to his left.
No.
And the pressure gets to him again. Patrick Owasor providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point seeding.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Steelers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Derrick Henry. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Mike's 4'4".
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Wide.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Dorsett making the catch. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. Now Roethlisberger. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Go, baby. Turnover. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's got the hook up with Conley.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
A pass complete here to Conley. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. They'll look to throw. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Stephon Tuitt never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. He'll look to throw. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Pretty base. Hey, Haywood. He's not going to get me. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist. Deuce, deuce. Deuce, deuce. Kill. Look, squeeze. Now.
Back to throw. And that will be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And Lambo can't hook this one back in. It's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Ready?
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Middle. You got to go. Let's go. Move it. You got to get that.
Roethlisberger will throw. Complete to Dorsett. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
All right, now. Like 5. Check.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
44. 50. 44 is the mic.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
Let's go!
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Go! Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
He'll look to throw.
Hey. 44 is the mic. 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 44 is the mic
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call.
Pilot, 64, weak.
SOS, SOS, SOS. SOS, SOS, SOS.
36.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 36. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A big play there just before halftime, and even 50 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches, why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a...
It's caught inside the 25. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Hey, orbit.
Right there. 54 Mike.
Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And it's caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Watch his slant. Watch his slant.
They'll set up a throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's into the clear. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
Way to go.
Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Boswell good with the extra point. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Throwing again on second down. Roethlisberger. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 40 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run with Henry. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Dorsett's got it. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 23. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. But look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game. A message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. And he completes it to Westbrook. The 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. D.D. Westbrook, 71 yards. And the Jaguars get a score closer. So the Jags will keep the offense out there as they'll decide to go for 2.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Alpha.
Right there. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
They'll try and throw for it. Complete at the 1. And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Flag 20.
44. Mike, 44.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Foes and Mike.
8.
Hey, baby, they don't want it.
5.
Mike, 44. Check. And I got you.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys are able to pull a bit closer. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So the Jags will keep the offense out there as they'll decide to go for 2.
Yeah.
They will run it. It's Fournette. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Come on now, let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. Here's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Draw play. This is Henry. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things, and they've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They played so well throughout this entire game.
Here's Roethlisberger. Screen pass to Connor. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Watch the edge.
Second and 13. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll set up to throw.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton, and he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Take over first and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. The Steelers on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Telvin Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. And it bangs off the right upright, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within 1 score.
Yeah, that looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the 4th quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hey, watch that. Wait, echo. Mike 54. Mike 54.
Watch the screen. Pass. Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4".
2nd and long. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Bang, 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 bang. X3, 218, chopper. Mike. Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
Ball.
Hit it.
Back to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. And
he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
What we got? What we got? What we got?
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry.
Run, 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 run!
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Derrick Henry, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The Jaguars take
Get
over
ready,
first
get
and
ready,
10
get ready.
at their own 25-yard line.
On the double.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Hey! Safe, safe, safe. Check 26, check 26.
Ready?
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
Ready? Black 30.
Corbin.
A first down carry for Henry. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
45, 45. Mike, 45. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Again, it's Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Philip Dorsett there to make the grab. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Jaguars take over.
Let's go, baby.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. I guess at this point, Charles, heck, why not take some shots?
I would agree with that totally, because a big play can't hurt at all. Heck, you might get a pass interference call out of it. Somehow the ball might get tipped up and you come down with it. Might not do too much for the result of the game, but it could.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to right. Guy's man complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Chris Conley, 79 yards. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
58 is the mic. Go 58's the mic. I know he ain't got it.
58's the mic. 58. 58's the mic.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D.
They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. This is Henry. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
50.
Fofo's the mic. Mike's Fofo.
Now Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Here's Jones. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Patrick Owasor able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They're going to look to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Flush to his right. Now a desperation throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts.
58's the mic. All day, just like that. Just like that. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Go.
Hey, 58 is the mic.
He'll look to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. A very pivotal two-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the 4th quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a one-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
180. Hey, alert. So don't say nothing. Black is on.
On 1st down, Henry. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, baby.
Made by A.J. Boye. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 45-yard line. Today,
their season ends here. A tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it. And so now, how negative do you look at that? They got there, had an opportunity, and for some teams, they have to lose games like this before they learn how to win them in later seasons.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.
Big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off cause the iPhone